Hey everybody, David here, and holy shit, we got some huge news. Get ready for it. Tom Welling is going to be returning as Clark Kent or Superman, maybe both, in the Arrowverse crossover Crisis on Infinite Earths. This crossover couldn't get any bigger at this point. I mean, yes, it can, obviously, but I am not expecting it to get any bigger than this, and watch them surprise me. For all we know, there's still a couple more casting news still on the way. I guarantee you, we're going to get Helen Slater in this as her version of Supergirl. Maybe Laura Vandervoort, who is also from Smallville. I'm still crossing my fingers for Justin Hartley, but Tom freaking Welling, man. This is amazing. Tom Welling, I'm a huge Smallville fan. I was a Smallville fan back when it originally aired. I got hooked on it. That was probably the incarnation of Superman that solidified me as a huge fan of that character. I did really like the Christopher Reeve films when I was younger, and grew up appreciating them even more as I got older. But it's the Tom Welling Smallville series that really made me appreciate that character even more so, and put him right up there with Batman. Batman and Superman are my top two favorite heroes of all time. They're like neck and neck with each other, and Smallville is what solidified that for me, making me really love that character of Superman. And even though he was a different version of Superman, I loved every other version of Superman since the Brendan Routh version, the Henry Cavill version. I love all of them. I think all of them are great. So hearing this news today, I was at work and I got on my break and I go on the internet, I see Tom Welling trending, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, this can either be really bad news, which I'm hoping it's not, or really great news, which means Tom Welling is in the freaking Arrowverse, and I was right. And thankfully, it was that one. And I lost it. And look, I don't know what's going to happen in this crossover, but I know we're going to get a shot. I feel it. We're going to get a shot of Tom Welling, Tyler Hoechlin, and Brendan Routh side by side together, the three of them kicking ass together. I don't know what's going to happen. They're all going to have to shoot their laser eyes at the moon or something like that and destroy something. It's going to be amazing. I want to see Tom Welling's Clark Kent teaming up with Oliver Queen, played by Stephen Amell, because Stephen Amell wrote something really cool, and you gotta love Stephen Amell. He tweeted this tweet, there'd be no crossover without Tom Welling. So Tom Welling is in the crossover, and you gotta love Stephen Amell for saying that, because he gets it. I remember talking to Stephen Amell one time about Arrow. When Arrowverse started, I told him I was a little, wary about getting into the show of Arrow at first, because I really did love Smallville and that version of Green Arrow. And Stephen Amell, I think, understood. And he actually, was the one, he told me that Smallville, a lot of the people that worked on Smallville actually work on Arrow as well. So I thought that was a little cool trivia. And yeah, when you see a lot of the directors that work in the early seasons of Arrow and some of the production team, etc., even some writers, I think, a writer or two have crossed over. There is a lot of DNA from Smallville in a lot of these CW TV shows. You can see them inside Arrow. You can see them more inside Flash and Supergirl. So the DNA of Smallville has still bled into some of these other shows, and I like that Steven really acknowledges that and respects Smallville to that regard. He even took a photo with Tom Welling that's lurking on the internet. And I got to meet Tom Welling this year at Fan Expo in August in Toronto Comic Con, or Toronto Fan Expo. And Tom Welling, he's the coolest dude, man. I got to fist bump him and tell him how much I got into the show when I was back in high school and all that. So this is really cool news, guys. Tommy, I know there are tons of fans out there. The fact that Tom Welling is still trending in the top of Twitter right now, I think it's safe to say that everybody is super excited about this. So with that being said, I hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe to my channel, especially if you're a huge fan of the Arrowverse. You know I am going to be reviewing all the seasons once they're done. And I'll most likely, just as I did last year with Elseworlds, I'll probably do a separate review for the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover event, because that's something that I can't wait for the end of the seasons to talk about. I got to talk about that crossover right away. So with that being said, until next time, take care.